Dhananjay, your host on this channel. So friends, in this video we will have our discussion on different external influences over your love life, over your romance, over your matrimonial life, because this could be a case that Venus, which has been lately combust. So a lot of the queries which are coming to me, they are somehow connected with the concerns in the relationship, which are somehow surprisingly is being caused by the external person, like someone outside of their relationship. And just because at a time when I'm recording this video, like moon is transiting in the Taurus sign, so I just thought we can have our discussion on that. So okay friends, let's first try to make the ground rules very clear. Which ways a planet can exert its influence? That's very simple. It can happen through conjunction. It can happen through the aspect, and some planets like Jupiter, Mars and Saturn, they have got additional aspect as well. So the very first way via which a planet can exert its influence, that is going to be the conjunction. Second is going to be the aspect. Third is going to be the activated dasha. I always say the way planet changes your life, your psychological state, your life's undertaking, all of that somehow is being governed by the planet whose dasha, whose time period you are currently running into. Like someone who might be very much driven towards passion, relationship, luxury things in the Venus dasha, same person in the Saturn dasha or in the Sun dasha might be more aware and concerned about its career, hard work which comes with that. So dasha could be one of the way via which it can exert its influence. And somehow friends, when we also narrow it down, the analysis to the nakshatra level, so that also talks about somehow the primal instincts, the intent, the motivation generally comes from the nakshatra. So now let's try to understand that all the planets, if they are exerting their influence over the Venus, how could it influence your love life? So let's start first with the planet Sun. So let's say for example, we know that Sun, which in itself represents ego, it represents the seniority, recognition, your status. It comes from the planet Sun. So beyond any doubt friends, if in any capacity Sun is going to be influencing the Venus, all these are the concerns which could influence your love life, which could influence your romance. So we know this thing that Leo is not a very favorable placement for planet Venus to be placed in. Now that is a different case, that within the Leo, if Venus is going to be placed in the Purva Falguni Nakshatra, over there it can still hold this capacity to have the material wealth. But if the dispositor is not well placed, overall chart is somehow lacking that potency, that strength. Even the seventh lord is afflicted, Dara Karaka is afflicted. I have seen people who end up becoming a trophy wife, where you have got the inheritance and wealth, everything, entitlement, status, because of the marriage, but that chemistry and warmth is still lacking in the relationship. Now friends, now just because we have to understand the influence of the Sun over your love life, over the Venus, conjunction of Sun and Venus is never considered as good, because in a way that there is a lot of the ego. See, because if Venus is going to be very close to the Sun, because Mercury, Venus, they are almost always close to the planet Sun only. But if this Venus is going to be combust, then this could be a case that irrespective of having that strength, that desire, somehow this could be the ego concern, this could be the status concern that keeps on coming in the way. This could be a case that you would not believe. Sometimes I even get this consultation where the parents are worried that our daughter is so successful, it is difficult to find a person who matches her candidature, her profile. And this could happen either ways. So and there might be concerns of the ego as well. So Sun's conjunction with the Venus is not a very supportive sign. Now let's say for example, if Sun is opposing this Venus, because we know that Sun only has the straight aspect, right? I will just go by purely by the Parashari principle. So if Sun is also aspecting the Venus from the opposite house, there also you will see that the relationship gets affected because of the judgment of the society. I have actually seen that. Like sometimes in the older times, I couldn't tell you how many people have told me this thing that, this girl, she booked her reading and she was telling me, Nepon, you would not believe, we are four sisters, and my grandmother, she kept on taunting my mother that, or to my father, why don't you divorce her, she cannot even give you a son. So see, that is a traditional mindset, but it happens now as well. Planets are going to have their influence, their energy in any capacity. Like in the modern day times, even like I shared that experience, right? Like this girl, she booked her reading with me from Singapore, doing very good in the life. Even she said this thing, that when I socialize with my child's fellow parents and all, like fellow students and their parents, whenever I go for any parent teachers or parents association and all, I feel outshined, because they make me feel like that. So whenever sun is opposing the Venus, somehow the judgment of the society is not a very good sign, especially for the harmony in the marriage or in the relationship. Now let's say if moon is the troublemaker for the Venus. See, Venus's placement in the Cancer is not considered as a very good sign, because when you talk about romance, which is the domain of the Venus, either you need the Taurus energy, which is commitment, stability, or you need the Libra energy, which is all encompassing, which is taking care of everyone, or you need that Piscean energy, which is all like surrender, all sacrificing, sacrifice in the love, like compassion, love. But moon is always like wandering, it is not stable, it is always fluctuating. So you're not stable with your commitment and all. Like see, over here we're not talking about the Mercury energy of flirt, of being very flirtatious. We're talking about you are not very clear about that, like every single person who runs into you, you start seeing that the ideal match or the soul mate. So that kind of confusion, your emotions confuse you. So Venus, if placed in the zodiac sign, being ruled by the moon, which is Cancer, see, within Cancer there is an energy of the Pushya nakshatra as well, which might be very supportive. Pushya is one of the best nakshatra, but in a way I have seen Venus in the Cancer people, their love life tend to go through a lot of the ups and downs. If Venus is conjunct with moon, and if it is placed in some good zodiac sign or in good stable houses, like second house, this could be the 7th house, this could be the 11th house, 10th house, then this capacity, that over here, like definitely you will have your mood swings, you will have many, there's a slight possibility of, like before landing at the Mr. Right or Miss Right, you might have like gone through some sort of other choices as well, but in a way it can actually make you very romantic and all. And generally we say that whatever your desired expectation is out of a match, if all other factors in the chart are supportive, you can end up getting that. If moon is opposing this Venus, how it can exert its influence? So over here friends as well, like because moon is a planet which loves to travel, it is like very exotic, it wants to have new experiences. So if moon is opposing this Venus, generally I have seen that in the relationship it brings that energy where, like you start comparing yourself or your romantic life with other people. So that can happen. There is a slight possibility if moon is looking at this Venus. Now let's move forward. Let's say for example if Mars, now Mars energy is altogether a different domain, because now passion, your sexuality, sensuality, chemistry. See, there are like certain things I cannot even share, because when people book their consultation, oh my god, they're like open book, they share everything, and sometimes I'm like, that's too much information, but somehow they feel comfortable, they feel relieved. So I mean to say, Mars, if like for example if Venus is placed in the Aries, if Venus is placed in the Scorpio, so these people, like they want that thrill, that adventure in the relationship, the physical fitness, physical compatibility matters a lot, because no matter whether you come from a traditional society, you're not very vocal, you're not very open about this, but this is the hard fact. If Venus is in a way placed in the zodiac sign being ruled by the Mars, you need that like kind of drive, that action, adventure. Like a lot of the like females who get attracted, like I do not know, someone even raised this objection with me using the word female as well. I do not know. Oh my goodness, I these days have to be very careful when you choose the word. I mean to say, generally I have seen people who have like Venus in the Martian sign, they are attracted towards fit partner, like someone who is like very fit, very chiseled body, who works out a lot, and someone who's very athletic kind of person, or like people who get married to a cop, a military person, a marine kind of person, Navy SEAL kind of person. That energy somehow remains over there. So that is if Venus is placed in the zodiac sign being ruled by the Mars, and especially even in the Aries, if it is in the Bharani Nakshatra, in its own domain, it gets more powerful. The magnetic charm, attraction becomes very important. Like always go by that kind of, if life puts you in kind of a crossroad situation, always go for the person or go for the choice which actually turns you on. Again, you might find it very like very esoteric that I say this thing like this, but yes, with Mars and Venus combination, being turned on matters a lot, especially in those first meetings. So that is if Venus is placed in the zodiac sign being ruled by the Mars. But let's say for example, if Venus and Mars are conjunct together. So now friends, over here now we have to take it with a pinch of salt. Like in this tight conjunction, which zodiac sign they are placed. Like is Venus getting more strengthened or Mars getting more strengthened? Like for example, which planet has got lower degree? Because the planet which is going to have the lower degree is going to be the driving that conjunction, because Mars and Venus conjunction will erupt lot of the passion. So all that which I have explained about, being attracted to a very physically fit person who works out, sexual chemistry, physical chemistry, all of that will become very, very important. You cannot overlook this fact if it is taking place in the ascendant chart. Physical compatibility, energy compatibility. Like for example, one person is very kind of homely and other person is very outgoing, adventure lover. So over there as well, there is going to be mismatch of the energy compatibility. So it's not only about the sex, it's also about your the activities you like to do. So other person is, if more like we say, yin and yang compatibility. So you both have to be, that fiery energy has to be there, so that the compatibility needs to be felt. Now friends, the concern with Mars being opposing this Venus is never a good energy, because Mars is like a soldier which is always on the guard, which is always very possessive, which is always very protective, and this can actually make the Mars very insecure. See, if Mars and Venus are conjunct, so the soldier or your spouse, your partner is in the same walls, is looking at you. But if it is placed in some other house and giving its aspect, then that insecurity, suspicion, it is looking at you with suspicion. And God forbid, if Mars is giving its 8th aspect, like the 4th aspect is still good, 7th aspect is not that supportive, and 8th aspect is very aggressive, insecure, jealousy, possessiveness, doubts, assault, all that possibility is going to be there. So that is how Mars exerts its influence. Let's talk about the Prince Charming, Mercury. So friends, if Venus is going to be placed in the Mercury signs, so we know this thing that the Gemini energy can actually make you very romantic, like you know how to communicate, how to express yourself in a very poetic kind of way. You can be an art connoisseur. It's a very good placement. Venus in the Virgo, we know that it is going to be debilitated, not a very good energy. Like you might be in a relationship where you're just handling the chores or taking care or nursing your partner, or your partner is always getting into trouble and you are just managing all the mess which your partner has made. Now, if Venus and Mercury are conjunct in the same house, we call it as the Lakshmi Narayana Yoga, right? So nothing wrong in that. It actually make you very friendly, very frivolous, not in a wrong sense. Like it will make you like very committed, but it will make you very friendly, social, open channel of communication, and you want to engage, participate with your partner, with your partner's affairs. So you want to do things together, like as a buddy kind of energy. You will always see like a friendly kind of vibe. So Mercury Venus conjunction in a way is a good sign, and even if like Mercury is aspecting this Venus, although that cannot happen, we know that that cannot happen because they are going to be somehow conjunct, close only. Sun, Venus, Mercury, they are almost close to each other. So now let's move forward. Now comes the planet Jupiter. So if Jupiter, Venus is placed in the Jupiterian signs. So friends, this actually talks more about the moral compass, about the ideals, about the principles. See, if you are a kind of person, you're not fascinated and governed more by the thrill, adventure, and you want to show that your marriage is successful to the society and all. If all of that does not matter that much to you, all what you want is like a very principled, very responsible kind of partner, that kind of marital life where the marriage is built on the foundation of the trust, morals, and all. So this is a good placement. If although I would say that Venus's presence in the fire signs like Sagittarius energy might be burning little bit of the Venus domain, but still it is favorable. We know that, see, whenever a planet gets exalted in any planet sign, somehow that planet like Venus is kind of favorable to it. So even in the Sagittarius, or this could be in the Pisces, it holds this capacity to manifest good results. A very obedient kind of partner you will get. If Venus is conjunct with Jupiter, again it is getting much better. So we can say that your partner is going to be very responsible. And when I say responsible, it's not like responsible in the sense of the Saturn. I'm saying in terms of the virtues, in terms of the righteousness, in terms of the morals. And if Venus is going to be aspected by the planet Jupiter, so nothing could be better than this. Because friends, like what happens is that sometimes you would have felt like even if life puts you in a situation like you are in midlife crisis, you're going through menopause, or any kind of situation where you're confused, you want to experiment, and you are like on a verge of taking wrong decision, like stepping into a territory which is not good for you. At that time, it feels that it is good, but actually it is not good for you. So, society, other people keep on realizing your true dharma connected with Venus. See, what could be the dharma of Venus, right? It is about marriage, it's about relationship, how you manage your finances, your relationship and everything. So, other people will remind you of your dharma and they take care of you. So in this regard, like society comes to your aid, and all the principles and the wall of the principles under which you have lived your life, they come to your aid, they came to your help, to your rescue. So again, Jupiter aspecting it is a very good placement. Now let's take up the case of the planet Saturn. So Venus being placed in the Saturn signs, like Venus being placed in the Capricorn or in the Aquarius, nothing could be better than this. It actually provides you a partner who is going to be very responsible, a proper provider, and lot of the status, like where we say that the marriage involves lot of the status, success, powerful connection which you automatically gain through marriage. So it's a good placement. See, when Venus is conjunct with Saturn, there is a slight vulnerability, because this could be a case that your partner is very dry, very detached, or very mature, ahead of the time, like you still are in your youth. Venus Moon, they are like very tender energy which wants to be taken care of, and Saturn is like be independent, all dry, and learn the hard lessons of the life. And this could be a case. See, Saturn is not a very fertile planet. When we talk about fertility, the thing which comes to our mind is Mars to begin with. Mars is very fertile. Moon, like if Moon has got good Pakshbal, Moon could be very fertile. Like people who retain their youth, like their fertility for a very long span of time. Saturn could be a good provider, responsible, where it is being respected in the society. But when we talk about that charm, that allure, over there, that aspect might suffer a little bit. So see, the problem comes if Venus Saturn conjunction is happening in the Capricorn, in the Aquarius. So native has already already in this mindset, and he has grown with this mindset. The concern comes if Venus Saturn conjunction is happening in the Libra, in the Taurus, then it creates confusion, because you still have that, you want to experience that warmth, that passion, that kind of chemistry in the relationship, and Saturn is like it's very dry, detached, responsibilities, society, protocol, everything comes into the picture, and there's that dry kind of energy. So over there, I would not say that for your romantic life specifically. Here I'm talking about your romantic life, right? So regarding that, it might not be a very, very supportive sign. When we talk about the aspect of the planet Saturn, so again friends, in a way the aspect of the planet Saturn is not that bad. Let me be very honest with you. So Venus being placed in the nakshatra, like Venus being placed in the zodiac sign ruled by the Saturn, it's a good combination, whether for your love life, romantic life, your wealth, everything. Venus conjunct with Saturn creates a question mark, for the enjoyment and the pleasure point of view. But Saturn aspecting Venus is never that bad, because it make you very duty oriented, very stable. Like for example, you have Venus in the Libra or Venus in the Gemini, so there is a tendency that you could be flirtatious, you could be casual. But if Saturn is aspecting it, it will make you very committed, very responsible, very dutiful. So the aspect of the Saturn on the Venus is always a good sign. Now comes our favorite. Yes, Rahu and Ketu, the planet of destiny, unconventionality. So obviously friends, with Rahu, I don't take into consideration Rahu's aspect. I don't see Rahu as Atma Karaka. It can never be. Rahu is a demon, and Rahu does not have a physical body. So how can a planet which does not have a physical body can have additional aspect? Now that's my personal observation. I never take Rahu and Ketu's additional aspect. So for this discussion's sake, Rahu and Ketu can only influence you through conjunction. So see friends, on this I have made certain videos on my channel, like Mrit Sanjeevani. I have made certain videos on the past life betrayal. Do watch that, because if any planet comes in the axis of the Rahu and Ketu, that means the prarabdha, destiny, comes into the picture. Whatever you will be experiencing, this could be a case that you have sown that from the past. Life can never be put in a custom, in a prototype being laid out by the society, because Rahu and Ketu are the planets of the unconventionality. So like you might be very strict and very religious, and your own son or girl might be gay or something. So anything can happen. I'm telling you, anything can happen, because Rahu and Ketu are unconventional planet. They make you more accommodating, more cosmopolitan, that everything, all attributes, all dimension, all aspect of the life needs to be cherished, welcomed and accepted. So if Venus is conjunct with Rahu, friends, there is going to be obsession, there is going to be unconventionality. Partner might be a foreign partner, and again Rahu more or less represents the imaginary qualities more. So we have to take into consideration in which house it is taking place. Otherwise it can give you imaginary fears. Here I'm not talking about that influence of Rahu over this Venus can make you obsessed for that cosmetic surgery or cosmetic procedures. Purely talking about the romantic life. So there is going to be a lot of the artificialness, right, where you want your partner to support you through different things, or the purity of the Venus somehow compromise with the tangible, with the artificial things. And that is true in a sense, because more or less we all are living that artificial life these days. We get more happy, we get that dopamine when we look at the reels and we see someone else more successful than us. So I mean to say, yes, in the modern day and age, influence of Rahu over the Venus, even with the material tangible things, if your partner is providing you, you might be very happy, very fulfilled with that. And yes, the marriage is going to be very unconventional, and external factors, fated events will play a very major role in your romantic life. Ketu. So Ketu is about the, Ketu never leaves you. It keeps on chasing you, not only in this birth, but from many lifetimes as well. So whatever is going to be happening in your love life, friends, this could be sudden breakup, or sudden arrival of a partner, or your partner is going to be very meditative, very spiritual, that period and relapses of attraction and repulsion, all of that can happen. So whenever like Rahu and Ketu are involved, they just demand surrender. That's all what I can say. And spirituality plays a very integral role. See, Venus Ketu conjunction can actually drive you towards the like Kundalini activation, chakra, meditation. All these areas fascinate the native. But purely talking about the romantic life, there can never be perfection. So wheresoever Ketu is placed, whichever planet is conjunct with it, never expect like completion, especially from the material things. It has to be found deep within, and acceptance and surrender becomes very important. So yes friends, this was the video, and for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.